This is a fire pit. You guys fuck with this outfit or what? All right. That's how you can tell that I need to do laundry. But what's going on, guys? This is Monday, December 8th, and I am going to be going over the trade that I took today. So I made about $3,000 today trading the NASDAQ on my Alpha Futures accounts. And I did this by shorting, okay? So coming today, I'm going to go over just kind of everything, right? I go live every single morning as well, guys, if you don't know this, in my Discord, in my exclusive community, and I give them my daily bias analysis for the day and just kind of give them an overview right as market opens. So I usually go live from like 8:30 to 8:40 Central Time or 9:30 to 9:40 Eastern Time to go over the market and basically just be like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is how it's going to relate to the motion model, all that kind of stuff. So today, when market opened, it opened all the way up here. We didn't really necessarily know yet that it was going to dump. And we had already seen that there was kind of some consolidation during Asia session on the higher time frame, right? This hourly time frame doesn't really look too crazy until before, right when, kind of pre-market happened and we came up and we made that wick. And that SMT that ended up being the cause of this dump that we can see here now. So this hourly SMT is what I believe caused this dump. I marked out this high up here as something that I kind of wanted to see when market opened. And we had this daily gap above as well. Now, I was a little bit more bullish before market opened because I didn't think that we would have any reason to not come up and take that daily gap before we went lower. But as you can see, we created that 1 hour SMT. And, we broke structure on the hourly and on the 15-minute. And so that was kind of what determined, okay, we're not really going to be bullish anymore for the rest of today. We're going to be bearish, okay? So once we saw this 15-minute candle close, past all of these wicks, for me, that confirmed that we're going to be bearish. Whereas before I was leaning a little bit more towards being bullish. So, yeah. Then I also saw on the hourly time frame, if you guys can see right here, on the hourly time frame, we do end up getting a hourly gap inverse right here. So we get a break structure and we get an inversion of that gap. Then price comes up, we revisit the inside of that gap. We essentially make an inversion and then we come up, retest it, and then move lower, right? And then what do we target when we go lower is wicks like this, and then we also have a lot of higher time frame lows here that I do think this week we will end up taking out. So as you can see on the higher time frame, all of these wicks down there are good swing points for us to go and target before we end up moving higher. As we can see, we're making higher highs and higher lows in the higher time frame. If we do end up breaking structure and going to the downside, I think that we could end up taking out a lot of these lows down here, but it would be about breaking those first lows before we do so. But yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for. So I was a little bit more bearish. Now that being said, once I go to the lower time frame, after that, all that stuff happened, right? After we got the 15-minute break, after we got the inversion of the hourly candle, after we got the higher time frame SMT, after we got all the stuff for the motion model framework, I was looking for a rejection out of a gap, okay? So as we can see here, there aren't really any 5 or 15-minute gaps for us to reject out of. There was a lot of wicks. Market was kind of just moving up and down, up and down. But we did end up creating a pretty decent-sized 1-minute gap here with this big displacement candle. We created that 1-minute gap, and then we started to get some chop inside that gap, and we ended up getting an SMT here, right? I'm going to find where that is, actually. I believe it's here, right? Yeah, okay. So we ended up getting an SMT right here, okay, inside that 1-minute gap, and then we get a 30-second inversion, okay? So that was what I originally took. I actually took 2 trades today, one trade being a loss and one trade being a win, but they were pretty much the exact same setup. This first trade that I took was right here. I'll show you. After we revisited this 30-second gap here, I had my stop at the high of the SMT, as I always do with my model. And my target was just a 1 to 3 just for my profit target. So that would be like this basically. And as you can see, we ended up coming back up and stopping me out right there for, where is it? Let me find it again. Sorry, guys. Right there. Boom. Ended up stopping me out literally by the tick, by 1 tick here, or 1 point, whatever you want to say. And yeah, then I ended up being like, okay, cool. We got stopped by 1 point, but what did we make? We made another SMT, as you can see right here, right? This wick that came up here did not even get close on ES. We made that SMT, and then I was like, okay, cool. Still, we made another SMT inside that same 1 minute gap. What are the inversions looking like? And boom, as you can see here, we ended up getting a 15-second inversion after this SMT was made here, right? So after that 15-second SMT, or after that second SMT was made, got the 15-second inversion, and I was just targeting my profit target once again, like I said, which I'm going for about $1,000 per day on these accounts, which means I would risk about a 1 to 2 every single day. So I lost about $480 on my first trade, and then on my second trade I made $1,500. So that ended up getting me to my profit goal. So instead of going for a 1 to 2, I just went for a 1 to 3. As far as my normal risk parameters go, obviously my stop loss was not big enough to actually be a 1 to 3. It was a bigger risk to reward than 1 to 3. It was like a 1 to 6. And so, yeah, that was the trade that I ended up taking. Here is the executions and all that kind of stuff here as well. But yeah, literally you can see I got stopped on the first trade, and then the second trade I ended up taking, took it right there and held it for about 78 points there, is what it looks like it says. So went from, what is that, 762 to 687. I don't know. Do the math on that. That's however many points. Only 2 trades that I took today were those 2, and ended up being up $1,024 on all 3 accounts. So right now I'm not really allocated on too many prop firms. I'm only allocated on Alpha Futures, and I'm trading a live account. And the main reason for that is honestly just because I've been pretty lazy about getting my prop firm allocation sorted. I have not bought really any Top Step evals or anything like that in a while, and so that's kind of holding me back from having more allocation. So I need to end up prioritizing that this month and actually getting some allocation, ideally on My Funded Futures, Top Step, and Tradeify as well, so that I can have 4 firms that I'm copy trading all at the same time to make money on all prop firms at the same time, not just being on one prop firm trying to scalp winning days or get big winning days, all that kind of stuff. So I was trading my live account as well last month. Last month I was made about $20,000 on my live account, which was pretty cool, with one of those being $10,400 in a singular day. Yeah, so that's what I ended up doing. As you can see here, this is my trade. Boom, all the executions. And yeah, looking to take a payout literally in 2 days on these accounts. I haven't lost yet. I've had 3 winning days in a row, so only need about $1,000 left to be able to take a $4,000 payout on these accounts. I mean, it's nothing crazy. I think it's $4,500, something like that. It's the 0 accounts. I got these accounts for free from Alpha Futures, and then I ended up just passing them. So yeah, that's kind of my update on my trade that I took today, and also just the current allocation that I have and what I'm going for. And yeah, if you guys want to learn how to trade my model, learn how I trade every single day, how I have about an 80% win rate across several months in the live market, and years of back testing, yeah, you can apply in the link that I put in my bio. And yeah, if you have any questions about this trade, let me know. Peace out, guys.